Next, we're going to be adding the actions to the order controller that are required to manage the shifts. And we have also to add a new view for the admin UI. So let's go back to the code. And here we're going to open our order controller. And we're going to create two new actions here inside our order. So we're going to create the first one, which will be called, it's a list. It will list, the first action here will list the orders that are supposed to be shipped. So we're going to create a new public method here. It's a view result. And we're going to call this list. So we're going to list the orders that are supposed to be shipped. So we're not going to be listing every single order. We're just going to list the ones that are to be shipped. So the ones that have the shipped flag, the shipped field set to false. So we have to filter this. So we're going to use a lambda expression here. We're going to call view, and we're going to send to this view, to the list view, we're going to send the list of orders that are to be shipped, that are set to false. So we're going to call the repository, which is the list of orders. We're going to call, actually, the repository is the entire database. Then we have the orders of the repository. Then we're going to do a filtering. We're going to say, don't show me all orders, only show me the orders. We're going to use the where method, where, O for orders goes to not O dot shipped. So remember, shipped is a Boolean. If I say that not shipped means that only return the orders that have shipped flagged to false, which means what I have here is a not false means true. So we have the opposite of not shipped, which is shipped. So again, we have the negative here. So it will only return the orders that are not shipped. We are filtering. This will filter the list of orders that we're going to send to our view only to show the ones that are not shipped yet. So that's the view. Now we're gonna need another action here to handle the posts. When we see the list of orders to be shipped, the user will be able to click on a ship button, and that will send the information, the message, to an action here, to an action that we're gonna call this action as mark shipped, which will make a change to the database. It will flag, instead of shipped being false, shipped will become true. So we're gonna decorate this new method as HTTP post. The name of the method, this will be a public. I'll explain that in a second, but this will be an iAction result. And I'm gonna call this mark shipped. It will have one parameter. It will tell which order has been selected for shipping. So we have the parameter int order ID. And now we can create the body of our method here. Here's what we're gonna do. We have to go back to the repository on our orders collection. We have to filter the order that has this order ID, that matches this order ID, and then we have to set the shipped field of that order to true. How we do that? Well, let's first declare an order object here, which I'm going to call order, and this will be equals to what? Let's go to the repository. The repository has the collection of data of our database. We're going to go to the orders collection, and we're going to try to filter here. We're going to filter and attempt to return one single record from the orders, one single object from the orders. So we're going to use the method first or default, And here we're gonna say O. We're gonna do the filtering here. O goes to O.order ID. So we're gonna be filtering the list of orders by this order ID here. So equals to order ID. Now, just to make sure that we are on the safe side, most likely every order that we try here will have an equivalent order in the repository, but it's a good practice to be able to test whether or not order is null. Just in case this doesn't return anything, that this order number does not exist, we need to check that. So if order is not null, which means, hey, this was able to find an order, then if it finds the order, we're gonna do this. We're gonna say order dot, what is the name of the field? Shipped, the property. We're gonna set this to true. And then after we set to true, we have to save the data in the repository. So we're gonna have to call repository dot save order. What is the order? Well, this is the order here. Because we are leveraging the method that we have created already. We have save order in our repository, which will be saving the order. It will be saving this change that we have just made to the shipped property of our order. Next, we're gonna be returning to another view. So we're gonna say return, and then we're gonna use redirect to action. So what this will do is it will allow us to redirect after the post, to redirect to another view. Which view you're gonna be redirecting here? Well, you can stay in the same one. However, this time around, when it refreshes and goes back to itself, and I'm gonna call this, I can call this list like this, it will not show anything if I just had one order there, because the order that I'm marking as shipped will disappear because we set it to true this time. So why is that we are using iActionResult here instead of viewResults? Well, here's the thing. It's a best practice that whenever you are in an HTTP post action like mark shipped, this is an HTTP post, you don't return a view to the post. You redirect the user, the person that is using the system, to another view. You may ask, but Edson, why is that? Well, one of the first reason I would say is that this is the standard with MVC in .NET. However, the more appropriate answer I would say is that when you redirect to another view, when the user lands in that other view, if the user tries to refresh the page, it will not execute that post again. You're gonna avoid the attempt, and this is not a good example for that, but when you redirect to another location like this, to another view, if the user tries to press Ctrl R, which would be posting the data again, the posting will not happen. So that makes our application safer in case the user tries to refresh where they end up being after the post that they have done. A bit complicated, but that's the actual reason. So enough to say that when you are doing an HTTP post, you should redirect to an action. Now, if this post was checking for valid information, like when we are filling a form and there's a missing information, then you can use, in case it's not validated properly, you could use just return a view. But again, if everything worked fine with the post, you use a return redirect to action with the name of the action in parentheses. Now, the other way to build the name of the action, in a way, a fancier way, you could do something like this. You could use this function here, this method here, name of. I can put the name of this method here. I can put view. Sorry, I can put list. And name of will return the equivalent string to this list method. So it will return the string list. Just a fancier way to return the name list. And in a way, this is a more elegant way because we are not hard coding strings here in our code. Next, we're going to be creating our view so we can manage this. Oh, and we have an error here. So I just missed here closing the parentheses on our list view result.